Welcome to Tech Wizard Cast listeners. Buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into the electric world of Tesla, where sparks are flying. Not the good kind.
Right.
We're talking about Tesla's troubles that go way beyond your typical market ups and downs.
It's remarkable how Tesla's image has shifted, isn't it? They were once seen as the future, all about sleek design and saving the planet. Now there's a real sense of pushback from consumers, a sentiment we really haven't seen before.
Yeah, it's like the honeymoon phase is officially over.
Yeah.
We've got a mountain of reports, data, and news articles, and they all point to a pretty intense situation.
For sure.
We're talking about Tesla's stock plummeting sales, drying up even some disturbing reports of vandalism.
Yeah.
And what's the common denominator in all of this?
Well,
Elon Musk.
the Musk factor is impossible to ignore.
Right.
His outspoken political views, his close ties with figures like President Trump, and his often controversial actions are definitely stirring the pot. This kind of controversy just wasn't part of Tesla's image before, and it seems to be having a direct impact on the company.
You mentioned vandalism. There are reports of Tesla owners worried about driving their cars
Right.
because they're afraid of being targeted or judged
Right.
because of Musk's political stance.
Right.
Can you imagine feeling that way about your own car?
It's a powerful example of how much Tesla has become intertwined with Elon Musk's personal brand, for better or worse.
Yeah.
And it's not just anxieties. We're seeing reports of actual violence directed at Tesla dealerships, including firebombing and even shootings.
Wow.
This isn't just online chatter. It's a real-world backlash.
It's certainly more than just bad PR. And speaking of real-world impact, this backlash is showing up in Tesla's bottom line.
Yeah?
Their stock value has taken a nosedive, dropping over 35% since the start of 2024.
Wow.
And get this, they've recorded their first annual sales decline in over a decade.
That decline is particularly stark in a key market for electric vehicles, Germany.
Oh, really?
Sales there have absolutely cratered down a staggering 76% year over year.
86%.
To understand the significance of that number, you have to look at the competitive landscape.
Okay.
Tesla is losing ground to local German EV giants like Volkswagen, who are making cars specifically designed for German tastes and needs.
So it's not just a general dip in EV sales. It's Tesla losing its edge to competitors who are playing the game smarter.
Exactly. And the data backs this up.
Okay.
We're seeing a noticeable drop in online search interest and traffic to Tesla's website, according to firms like AltIndex. This suggests that the consumer fascination with Tesla is waning.
Okay.
It's not just a blip, it's a trend.
It's almost like Tesla's becoming less cool.
Yeah.
And it's not just sales, right? Their overall brand perception seems to be taking a hit.
Definitely. They're losing market share, particularly in the luxury EV segment, to rivals like Rivian and Lucid, who are attracting those buyers who might have once flocked to Tesla.
Right.
This isn't just about Musk. It's about how Tesla is responding, or rather not responding, to the shifting tides of the market.
Right.
Remember, Tesla basically had the luxury EV market to themselves for a while.
Yeah.
But that's no longer the case.
It sounds like they need to step up their game.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something earlier that I want to come back to. The impact of all this on Tesla internally.
Right.
What's happening inside the company?
Well, one of our sources is a former Tesla employee,
Sure.
and they paint a pretty concerning picture.
Okay.
They suggest that Musk's unpredictable behavior and his frequent clashes with regulators are creating a chaotic and unstable environment within Tesla,
Right.
which makes it hard to attract and retain top talent and execute long-term plans. This isn't just about bad press, it's about the nuts and bolts of running a successful company.
So Musk's actions are having a ripple effect, impacting everything from Tesla's image to its ability to innovate and function effectively. That's a lot to unpack. Maybe we should shift gears and talk about how all of this is playing out with the people who hold the purse strings, the investors.
That's a great segue. Let's dive into the world of Tesla's investors and see how they're reacting to this turmoil. It's fascinating to see how investors are reacting to this whole situation. Some are convinced that this is just a temporary blip, a rough patch that Tesla will ultimately power through.
Okay.
They point to the potential benefits of Musk's political connections, especially when it comes to shaping regulations around autonomous driving technology.
So they're betting that any short-term pain will be outweighed by long-term gains. It's a risky gamble.
It is. But there's another camp of investors who are much more pessimistic. They're worried that the damage to Tesla's brand could be lasting.
Right.
They argue that Musk is alienating a huge chunk of their potential customers, and that the reputational hit might be too much to recover from.
What's their solution? Sit tight and hope for the best.
Some of them, including longtime Tesla investor Ross Gerber, are actually calling for a pretty radical move. They want Musk to step down as CEO. They believe that fresh leadership is the only way to salvage Tesla's reputation and win back the trust of consumers. It's a pretty bold statement.
Wow. To actually call for the face of the company to step down?
Yeah.
That shows how deep their concerns run. It's like they're saying that Musk is now a liability, not an asset.
Exactly. And this sentiment is starting to echo among institutional investors.
Oh, really?
These aren't just everyday folks dabbling in the stock market. We're talking major players like pension funds and investment firms who manage billions of dollars.
Right.
And they're getting nervous.
Yeah.
One fund manager quoted in the Wall Street Journal summed it up perfectly. We're seeing a real divergence between Musk's interests and Tesla's. They're basically saying that what Elon Musk wants is no longer aligning with what's best for Tesla as a company.
So we've got these investors hitting the panic button while others are clinging to the hope that Musk can steer the ship back on course. What about Tesla's leadership? How are they responding to all of this?
Well, actions speak louder than words, right? And there's been some interesting activity lately. Several key figures at Tesla, including the board chair, Robin Denholm, Elon's own brother, Kimball Musk, CFO Vaibhav Taneja, and board member James Murdoch, have been selling off significant chunks of their Tesla stock.
Ooh, that's not a good look.
Yeah.
It's like even the people closest to Tesla are starting to lose faith. Are they jumping ship before it sinks?
It definitely raises some eyebrows, but at the same time, Musk recently appeared with President Trump in what seemed like a very impromptu Tesla promotion right in front of the White House. It's almost like they're throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks.
It's a really strange contrast. On one hand, you have these insiders quietly dumping their stock, which could signal a lack of confidence in Tesla's future. On the other, you have this very public attempt to align Tesla with Trump, perhaps hoping to appeal to a different segment of the market.
It really highlights the uncertainty and volatility swirling around Tesla right now. It's like they're sending mixed messages, which only adds to the confusion.
It's definitely a far cry from where things were just a year ago. Back then, people were mostly concerned about Musk's behavior on social media, particularly his engagement with some, let's say, controversial figures and content.
Yeah.
It was all about whether his online antics were distracting him from running Tesla effectively.
Right. The focus was very much on his online persona and whether it was becoming a liability for Tesla. Some media outlets were even calling out specific instances where they felt Musk was engaging with content that could be considered problematic or even hateful.
And now, just a year later, things had escalated dramatically. It's gone from online chatter to real-world consequences, actual attacks on Tesla dealerships, plummeting sales figures, and investors openly questioning Musk's leadership.
It's a powerful reminder that even the most innovative and disruptive companies are vulnerable to the court of public opinion. And when you have a leader as polarizing as Elon Musk, those opinions can shift very quickly and have a major impact on the company's trajectory.
You mentioned earlier that Tesla is facing stiffer competition these days. Let's dig into that a bit. How are companies like Rivian and Lucid changing the game and challenging Tesla's dominance?
That's a great question, and it's a crucial part of this story. Tesla essentially had the luxury EV market all to themselves for a while. They were the cool kids on the block, the innovators, the ones to beat. But now the established automakers like Mercedes, BMW, and Audi are getting serious about EVs. And then you have these up-and-comers like Rivian and Lucid who are coming in hot with fresh designs, cutting-edge technology, and a laser focus on specific segments of the market.
So Tesla's not just battling it out with other startups anymore. They're going up against the big leagues, the companies that have been building cars for a century. That's a whole different ballgame.
Absolutely. Rivian, for example, is making a big splash with their electric trucks and SUVs, tapping into that American love for rugged outdoorsy vehicles. And Lucid is targeting the high-end luxury market, going head-to-head with Tesla's Model S with their Air sedan, which boasts incredible performance and range.
So Tesla's facing a two-pronged attack pressure from both the top and the bottom of the market. It's like they're being squeezed from all sides.
Exactly. And on top of that, you have the overall economic climate, which is pretty shaky right now. Inflation is high, interest rates are rising, and people are less likely to splurge on a big ticket item like a luxury EV. Tesla's not immune to these broader economic forces.
So it's not just about Musk and his actions. It's about a perfect storm of challenges converging on Tesla at the same time.
That's a great way to put it. It's a complex situation with a lot of moving parts.
It certainly is. We've covered a lot of ground here, from Musk's controversial moves to the growing competition and the turbulent economic backdrop. But I think the million-dollar question is, can Tesla bounce back from all of this? Is this just a temporary dip, or are we witnessing the beginning of Tesla's decline?
That's the question everyone's asking, and honestly, there's no easy answer. It really depends on how Tesla adapts to this new reality. Can they regain the trust of consumers? Can they outmaneuver the competition? Can they weather the economic storm? Only time will tell.
It feels like we're at a crossroads with Tesla.
Yeah.
What we do know is that they're facing a whole new set of challenges they haven't had to deal with before.
It's a pivotal moment for the company, that's for sure. They built their brand on being the disruptors, the mavericks of the auto industry. Mm-hmm. But the game has changed, and now they need to prove they can adapt and evolve to stay ahead.
You've painted a pretty vivid picture of the situation, from Musk's influence to the competitive landscape and the economic headwinds. It's a lot for any company to navigate, let alone one that's been in the spotlight as much as Tesla.
Absolutely. And I think there's another layer to this that's worth considering: the role of Elon Musk himself.
Right.
He's been so central to Tesla's story, its success, and now potentially its struggles. It begs the question, can Tesla thrive without the cult of personality that surrounded Musk for so long?
It's a question that's probably on the minds of a lot of investors and Tesla enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Can the company separate itself from Musk's persona and stand on its own merits? Can they build a brand that's bigger than one man?
Yeah, it's a fascinating challenge. Think about other successful tech companies: Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. They've all gone through leadership transitions and managed to maintain their momentum.
Yeah.
But Tesla feels different, more intertwined with its founder than perhaps any other company in recent history.
It makes you wonder, if Musk were to step down, would Tesla lose its magic?
Yeah.
Or would it be a chance for the company to reinvent itself, to mature, and become a more sustainable and stable entity?
Those are the big questions, aren't they? And ultimately, only time will tell. But one thing is clear: Tesla is at a turning point. The decisions they make in the coming months and years will determine whether they can overcome these challenges and continue to shape the future of the automotive industry, or whether they'll become a cautionary tale of how quickly fortunes can change in the fast-paced world of tech.
Well, I think we've done a pretty deep dive into Tesla's troubles today.
We have.
We've explored the Musk factor, the competitive pressures, the economic realities, and the big existential questions facing the company. It's a complex and fascinating saga that's still unfolding.
It is, and it's a story that has a lot of lessons for us all. It reminds us that even the most innovative companies are not immune to the forces of change. It highlights the importance of leadership, brand perception, and the ability to adapt to a constantly evolving market.
Well, listeners, I hope you found this deep dive informative and engaging. It's certainly given us a lot to think about.
Until next time, be curious.